Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp Chance Boxing. I am your host, Bobby Sampson, joined as always, my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good yourself?
Can't complain, man. Very first and foremost, before we get everything off the road, we are a part of the WSN Wrestling Society Network. Yes, we're talking boxing, but we are the only boxing show on the platform. Guys, this is an amazing platform to be a part of. You can download the WSN app on Roku. You can download it on Apple TV. You can find it on Spotify. So you can find us on Samp and Chance. You can find us on all our socials. But now you can also find us on all these other socials as well. Make sure to go check it out. They have great documentaries. They got great podcasts out there. A little something for everybody. It's a
Yeah.
great menu. If you want steak, we have steak. If you want fish, we have fish. We
Good
got it there.
smorgasbord. Got a little bit of everything,
Smorgasbord,
right?
absolutely a buffet for everybody's taste,
And they're
right?
good and they're good guys. They're just good people that are trying to put out good content.
Absolutely. And the fact that we are the only entity here bringing you boxing makes us a little different from everyone else. We are probably the outspoken guys a little bit.
That would be a way
Um,
to describe it. Yeah.
we're a bit more of the outspoken crew. Respect everybody, respect everything that we do, but
Exactly.
at
It's
the
all
same time,
opinions, all it is.
it's
And I
just
agree.
opinions at the end of the day. But you know what? We're here to talk boxing. So
Yeah.
thank you to the WSN. We're there. Make sure to check them out, and you can find us as well. All right. So I am going to start the show very simply saying I was wrong, 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 wrong. And I don't think I was faulted for being wrong. I think I'm the part of the vast majority of people who got this wrong. I think a lot of us based it on science. We based it on past boxers doing what Terrence did here. I mean, spoiler alert, Terrence Crawford is now three-time, three-weight division, undisputed world champion. Now, do we want to talk about that one right off the bat, or should we start with some other ones first?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I was one of the few that had him winning. And originally I did have Canelo up until about a week or two before the fight. I started changing my mind as I started watching a little bit more of Crawford's fights.
Yeah,
Started watching some of Canelo's most recent fight. When I study for a prediction, I usually watch their last couple of fights. I don't really
yeah.
like to ask because these guys are older. Like Crawford's 37, Canelo's 35. You can see Canelo slowing down, right? Crawford didn't look great in his last fight, but I didn't see him slowing down that much. He still had the reflexes. There. Canelo's reflexes are slowing down, right? He's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
Some
Well,
guys
here,
age better than others, right?
look,
And and everybody was saying, like, I cleaned up on this weekend, the prediction leagues and on the betting, like with the Crawford thing, because everybody else is the other way, right? But Crawford is just such a good athlete, right? And I was watching his last couple of fights, and he's very good at dropping low, and he's very good at blocking the body shots and then firing an uppercut, which he did all night. Canelo hit him a couple times hard. Overall, he blocked most of those body shots and hit him with a counter. And when I started seeing that, I'm like, Crawford's going to win this fight. And but nobody was crazy for saying Canelo could win because, like everybody said, if he gets him hard in the body, if he gets him, he's going down. But he couldn't get him.
well, no, he
And,
got
and,
him. He
and
got him,
Crawford put
but
on a clinic.
Crawford ate him. He got him.
Yeah,
And
but it
you
didn't
can't say,
affect. Crawford said I've been hit harder.
well, but this is what I'm saying. He got him. He felt that power, right? So, here's my take
I
on it
don't
very
think the
simply.
power is there as it used to be.
Well,
For
look,
Canelo, he's 35.
I said on the watch along as this fight was progressing, I said, when you look at Canelo, he's not been the same since the Bivol loss. He's not, right? And he hasn't fought anyone really to make you think too much otherwise. The Munguia fight, the Scroll fight, the Charlo fight that followed after. Yeah, he was victorious in all those fights, but again, you could see something was different there.
Well, he's
That
off the number one. He's 35. He's off the juice,
yeah,
and that's affecting some of his power. Like, and I don't care for Canelo, and I don't even really care for Crawford. But I was picking who won, and just he won, and it was a clinic, man. Crawford just outboxed.
honestly, he
Like, wow.
outboxed him through that entire fight,
Oh
and
yeah.
and that one, like you said, defense. You can't go against this man's defense, pushing him off. And the other thing I did mention, he does have a good amateur wrestling background as well. So
Strong.
he's very strong. So when you saw him strong arm Canelo in a few of those moments where Canelo was coming in for a shot, you see Canelo coming in with the right and Crawford literally pushing him back and countering at the same time.
Yeah.
You got to be a strong guy. I think what I failed to keep in mind that this guy had a year and a bit because this is his only focus. He wasn't focused on anything. He had a year and a bit to put on the weight the right way. Where most guys are given only 4 or 5 months, between the fight and this, fight itself. This guy's been putting the weight on for over a year to get to this level. And you mentioned in our own private conversation, so well, that's his walk around weight. So
Yeah.
he's not that much different. So, that's the other thing. I think a lot of us were just
And they're
thinking,
the same height. I think Crawford's even an inch or two taller, right? So it wasn't
yeah, 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 yeah,
thicker,
yeah.
but Crawford's a little taller, so it was pretty much an even weight thing.
But Canelo showed me something. I knew it was there, but to hear him in the post-fight conference, one guy asked him, what was it that Crawford did? What was it that Crawford
Mhm.
did that gave you a hard time? His answer, everything. Everything.
Mhm.
Like he owned it. Like Canelo, I've never seen a guy own a defeat like Canelo did. There's no excuses. He goes, I just couldn't find it. I didn't have it. I knew what I wanted to do. I have the skills, but my body, like he basically admitted in that presser, and maybe it's because of his English, maybe he didn't mean to, but he basically admitted, is from what I heard, anyways. Tell me if you heard different, that he said, like, I can't do this. I can't do this against this guy like this. And he said that he's better than Floyd.
He dominated more than Floyd did, yeah.
Right? Like this guy dominated him completely. Like I've never seen it like that. Like the only two times that Crawford's ever looked like Terrence Crawford was one against Errol Spence and then again against Canelo. Maybe it's a competition level that brings that out of him. Maybe he only,
Well,
gives so much.
this was the perfect fight for Crawford. Canelo's slow. Yes, he hits hard, but he's slow, right? He's flat-footed. Crawford is super athletic. He's bouncing around. He's always moving. He's always throwing his hands.
I kept
He knows what
waiting.
he's
Okay,
doing,
when's he
right?
going to get tired? When's he going to get tired? At some point, when's Crawford not going to be able to keep moving around because it's stick and jab, stick and
Yeah.
jab.
So
And that's all he did. He worked from the outside. Like he did what he was supposed to do. And that frustrated Canelo. He had Canelo chasing him the whole night.
no, so let's get into. I put a huge breakdown on X about it, but I'm just going to read a couple things off here because these are important numbers, right?
Yeah.
And the numbers tell the story in boxing and wrestling, right? So here we go. This fight drew a record-breaking crowd of 70,482 people, the largest ever for a boxing match in Nevada. So they broke the record for attendance in Nevada. That's number one. It generated a live gate of $47 million. Globally, here's a big one. It attracted over 41 million viewers, making it the most watched men's championship boxing bout of the 21st century.
There you go.
This is huge. You put it on free for Netflix. They're not making you buy a special app. Most people have Netflix, so that's huge. I wrote a huge breakdown. I just want to break down a couple of these rounds so we get an idea. I'm going to break down. This is round 1 and 3 broken down. I'm going to skip to the end. I'm not going to bore everybody to read it all. Crawford controlled the pace with jabs and movement. This is round 1 to 3. Frustrating Canelo early. He landed the cleaner shots. Although Canelo tested him early with his chin and body work, Crawford was up 3-0. So he already had it. This is when Canelo, rounds 4, I thought, to 5, started turning it up. Canelo ramped up the pressure, landing his first power punch right hand in the 4th that briefly pushed Crawford back. Crawford felt that one. However, Crawford absorbed it well, like I was saying, with all the blocking and responded with combinations, maintaining his distance. It was even in the rounds, but Crawford still edged him. So those rounds are pretty close, but Crawford is still up, maybe 4-1. You know what I mean? Like it was just he's just too good. The head clash, he got the cut there. That could have been a changing moment. The fight didn't really mean into anything. Got him a little bit of a rest, if anything. And this absolute dominance. Round 11 and 12, Canelo was desperate. He pressed out there, but he just couldn't catch him. Couldn't land any significant shots. Like he landed a few.
I've never.
Crawford's lateral move was too good. He kept clinching him. Crawford. Anytime Canelo would come in, he'd clinch him. He'd use his lateral move in the last rounds.
Yeah.
And then Crawford is so precise, and he put on a clinic, man.
No, he totally put on a clinic, and I've never seen Canelo take a shot where he actually, you could see he felt that, like when he did that twist and his leg kind of pivoted in it. That was crazy, man. But yeah, no, look, you know what? Respect to Terrence Crawford, generational great. Where does Crawford go from here, though? Now
he's only taking big fights, big superstar fights.
Yeah, but what's left? What's left? He's not going up to 175. I think the only other fight would probably. The only fight that it kind of excites me is probably at 154. There's nothing at 168 that excites me.
I don't know what he's going to do. I think he's going to do super fights. So whoever is a big name and wants super fight is going to start doing super fights.
What about Tank? If Tank is willing to come up to 154,
Yeah, you could see that. It's gonna be somebody like that, somebody like with a big name. He's gonna fight somebody with a big name because Crawford 37.
So what
He
does this do
fights
for
once
the
a year.
titles then if he's just going to sit on them then? Because I know there's mandatories and stuff like that. So is this undisputed going to be short lived?
Could be. It could be. Crawford's all about making as much money as he can, right?
Right? Like how
What's
long are they
Canelo?
going
I'm
to
more
make
interested in
them?
what Canelo's going to do next. Where you know what Crawford can fight whoever he
Well, hey,
wants. What's
let's think
Canelo going
about
to do?
it. This is the first time this century, maybe this century, I could be wrong, that Canelo hasn't had a belt,
Yeah, he usually has
right?
something.
He has nothing right now. Where does Canelo go from here? Does he hang him up? Does he stall?
No, no, there's too much money to be made. He's only 35. He didn't get hurt. He lost the fight. He didn't really get
Neither
hurt.
one really looks scratched up. Like, okay,
No,
granted, Terrence had that cut, whatever, but with the skin tone, it's really hard to tell how beat up he looked.
yeah.
Canelo just kind of had, the red marks on the face. Other than that, both guys really looked unscathed.
It was like when Pacquiao fought Mayweather. There was no really marks, a little shiner here and there, but it was just a boxing match, and Crawford was the better boxer, and
Yeah, yeah,
Canelo's
yeah.
slow.
All right, let's break down some of this card here. Let's start with Christian Mabili versus Lester Martinez. A lot of controversy because a lot of people thought this should have been the co-main event. In my opinion, outside of what we saw with Crawford and Canelo, I thought this was the best fight of the night.
It was the best fight of the night, but that doesn't mean it should have been co-main event because when you're booking this, Mabili doesn't have a big name. Callum Walsh has a bigger name than Mabili. That's why Walsh is the co-main event. However, this fight was way better than that fight, but they had it right. They booked the fights right.
You think so?
Mabili's not a co-main event. Nobody even knows who he is besides us.
Yeah, but I think based on what the ramifications of this fight meant, I thought it would better suited to be on the
Buddy,
co-main.
I tell you guys all the time. I know guys that book boxing and MMA shows very well. One of my good friends. It's all about name notoriety. Yes, this was the best fight. Callum Walsh has a bigger name than Mabili. That's why he got the co-main. Simple.
Oh, fair enough. All right. So
Great fight. Great fight.
Well, okay, so these guys fought to a draw. I thought that was really disappointing. I think when Billy came out really, really fast in the beginning of this fight, those first 4 rounds, I think he was trying to end this by the 5th round, and he threw everything at Lester, and Lester took it all. The second half of the fight, you knew that Mabili was tired, and Lester was coming back.
Most fights never go this long. She's not used to doing this.
Well, the second half of the fight, Lester landed a lot more harder uppercuts and power hooks that took something out of Mabili, I felt, right? Plus, he slowed down because I think he emptied his tank by the 5th round.
It was both. It was a combination of him
right?
punching himself out in all the shots he's taken.
Yeah. And, and they took, but the one thing I had a problem with here is the refereeing. I think the referee was just a little too lax with policing the shoving that Martinez was doing. He was shoulder pushing and pushing off of Billy the entire fight, which should have resulted in a warning and a penalty. You can't do that, right? Lester was doing a lot of that shoulder pushing.
But hey, if you're gonna get like they say, I hear it all the time in the boxing, you're not supposed to do that. But if you're getting away with it,
yeah.
So
well, a good referee would have done or said something, right?
But that's on the Billy.
Yeah.
You know he's doing it, so what do you have to do? You need to do it back. Why wasn't his corner telling him?
Yeah.
I think this guy was bullying Billy. He was bullying him, pushing him around, being a jerk. I agree the ref should have gave him a warning, but the ref at the same time let it go. So that means if he's letting it go, it's like in hockey. You get tripped, they don't call a penalty. Okay, you can trip the guy. The refs are getting more leeway. Umpires have strict strike zones, some have bigger strike zones. This guy gave a bigger strike zone that Billy should have, in his corner, should have told him, don't let him do that to you. You're big, you're the stronger guy here, elbow him back. Right? So I didn't like that strategy, Billy's corner, for not telling him to do that. I don't understand it.
Yeah, no, it was.
This is a fight, man. We're not here playing piano. I have no problem. I have no problem with the draw. Really, I mean, you could have made a case for either guy. I think looking at it and watching it, the draw was a fair decision. Nobody really won the fight. It was a great fight, hard hitting action, best fight of the night by far.
Yeah,
and we get to see it again.
So, there has to be a rematch there, right?
Oh, there will be. That was exciting.
Yeah. All right. So after that exciting match, we get this one, which was the co-main event. And, based on your logic, yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
King Callum Walsh, Dana White's pride and joy, probably lives in Dana's basement.
Freddie Roach's prodigy, too.
Yeah. So Callum Smith, coming from the school of Pacquiao.
Yep.
Freddie Roach, living in Dana's
without the skills of Pacquiao, but coming from Pacquiao school, yes.
Yeah. Going up against undefeated at that time, Fernando Vargas Jr. I picked Vargas because I just thought that he had the level higher than Callum Walsh in terms of just being there and being a part of these kind of things. I was wrong. Callum
Mhm.
Walsh wins, man. What did you think of it?
Oh, I got a breakdown on next. Let me give you guys a quick little soliloquy here. This is a solid showcase for Wall's skills against a named opponent, Vargas Jr., but it underwhelmed in excitement. Was not a fun fight to watch compared to the card's headliner and the Mabili fight. It's more of a chess match than a brawl. Walsh's pressure and his, as you alluded to, his roach trained fundamentals was coming through. You could see the changes that he's been making in his fundamentals and his skills. You can tell that Roach is training him with that. It solidifies the Zuffa boxing pusher. This is their star. He won. It doesn't matter how he won. It was boring, but they're going to keep pushing that. Now he's 14-0, right? But he did lack urgency. I don't think he's going to be a dominant champ. He won the fight, but yeah, he's getting better. But I don't think he's the hype that they're making him out to be. It
Well,
was just not a very exciting fight. I mean, maybe that's going to be a style. Some boxers win, but they're not exciting.
I mean, Walsh was spending most of the night just jabbing and throwing straight lefts and trying to get out of the way, right? I mean, outside of Vargas's, apparent low blows that was pissing off Walsh as well, right? Like he was looking at the referee to get a point
yeah.
deduction. I felt that made him look a little weak. I think what the issue with this fight is the fact that it followed Mabili. You know what I mean? I mean, it was nothing spectacular. Vargas didn't come to fight. He wasn't ready. It wasn't the Vargas.
There's that. And I also think Walsh's style and his new techniques he's doing with Roach was frustrating Vargas. He didn't have an answer for it. So I think he came to fight. He just didn't know how to. It was a chess match. He didn't know how to counter it.
Yeah. So there you go, man. I mean, Callum Walsh, he wins, and that's all that matters there. You could tell this was not a Dana White production.
Why is that?
Why? Because everything that Dana White said that he wanted to eliminate from boxing going forward on his cards was happening. The card ran too long. The card ran too long. There was just too much stuff in between. Yes, there was no national anthems and stuff like that. I get that.
Good.
But the way Dana wants to present boxing in America with the TKA group coming in 2026, this wasn't it. This wasn't what to expect from the Dana White promotion, in my opinion. In fact, you could tell that he looked bored sitting there because he didn't have any control, right? Like he has the headset on. He's running everything. So we're not really going to get to see what Dana White's boxing promotion is going to look like until he actually has the full reign.
Well, yes and no. Yeah, he had control of who's on the card.
Yeah.
He was at all the pressers hyping this up. He set a record, or him and TKO set a record for most tickets sold in Nevada. They broke a record for most people watching a boxing fight. But yes, he did not have full control of the whole production. He had some influence. But Netflix has a lot of say. They got the best production people in the world, so they did a lot.
That's what I mean. So from the production side, which Dana usually controls, completely, right? He didn't have that control. Seeing Dana White sit on the apron just with his, holding his hands together was a weird sight. You could tell that he wanted to do more. You could sense that, right? Very limited to what he could do. Also on that card, we found out that, hey, first off, do you think Turkish was asleep? Some of that?
It's a long card, man. Possible. Dana White and Turkish, they're going to trim the fat out of boxing, right? You're going to cut. I think they'll cut a couple matches off some of these cards, get them a little quick pace because UFC. Some of these fights are only 3 rounds of 5 minutes, or 50-minute fight. Some of these boxing fights go for 40 minutes to an hour. They're used to.
Well, I mean, there was only 10 to 12 minutes between fights per se. Okay, the longest wait we had was between Walsh and Crawford, right, which was about almost an hour, 45 to 50 minutes in between the two fights. Crawford wasted no time coming down to the ring, man. He ran down like shit with that guitar case. I was wondering what he was doing, but I mean, I love Crawford for that, man. He's a good showman.
Yeah.
What else happened that night? Max Kellerman, man. What did you make of him? The return of Max Kellerman.
He wasn't very good.
He was shitting on boxing though?
No, he wasn't very. He's a little bit. No, he's a little bit. Maybe a little bitter because when HBO went down, he didn't really do anything much after that. He was on First Take, but he wasn't really. He knows boxing. He knows sports. He's not really a debate guy. He can't swim with those sharks.
He was trying too hard. I just get the feeling that wasn't Max Kellerman, man.
I think he's just excited to be back. He hasn't been on a big fight card in I don't know how long. I'm just happy to be back.
John Anik did a great job. I'm actually impressed.
They
He
did all right.
crossed over pretty well.
He did good. He did good. He got the job. He's like there's certain commentators that are pros that can do anything. You know, your Vin
Yeah.
Scully's.
Him and SOG had good chemistry,
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
right?
I just hope that when Dana White does this, he's not using that guy too. I like to see a boxing guy do it. But yeah, John Anik was fine. Yeah, I had no problem with him.
Yeah, yeah.
Good job.
So we got that, and we also find out that for early 2026, well, maybe not early 2026, but at some point in 26, we're probably going to get Shakir versus Fimo Lopez. Good fight, man. Looking
Yeah,
forward to that one. That
that'll
should
be
be
good.
fun.
Yeah.
That should be fun, man. That should be really fun. All right, man. Is there anything happening in the world of professional
You
boxing?
forgot one fight, man.
Which one?
Inoue.
All right. Yes, yes, yes. Inoue fought later that night or early that morning in Japan. Unanimous decision. Chance, Michael, take it away, man.
Well, this is the first fight in 11 fights that he hasn't knocked somebody out.
Yeah.
So that's a shocker in itself. He still won. He's still the undisputed super bantamweight champion at 122 pounds. It's hard to imagine a guy weighing 122 pounds, but that's what he is. He's just a little guy. But it was a good fight, man. Akhmadov came to fight. I mean, I think 90% of people predicted Inoue to win. The question was it knockout or decision? Some guys got it right. Most people said knockout for Inoue. And it was good to see him go the distance, that he can hold his own. The only part I didn't like about this fight is nobody could really watch. You have to log on to Facebook in the States. You couldn't watch it in Canada properly unless you have IPTV. So that hurts. When Inoue is one of the top pound-for-pound boxers in the world, and you got to go to Facebook. If you're in Canada, you can't find his fights unless you have a legal cable.
But Top Rank should have prepared for this, man. They shouldn't have left it. Like, who when you're an entity like Top Rank, how can you leave your provider with not having some place to go? It's like selling your house and then living in the U-Haul truck because you don't have a house to move into.
Yeah. Quick little. I'm not going to read all the rounds because I break them down 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 8.
Quickly before
I just want to give you round 4 because this is what round 1 to 3. He was kind of feeling it out. He was very wary of the power of Alkamev. But around 4, I'll read this go quickly. It's around 4 to 6. Inoue warms up. His footwork started shining through, and he circled and peppered his opponent with combinations to the head and body. Alkamev swung big rights but missed often. But he would absorb the counters. Inoue landed 45 punches to Alkamedov's 28 in this stretch, widened the gap. This is when Inoue took over and started to dominate the fight. So the first 3 rounds, he's feeling it out. He was respecting his power. Maybe he respected his power too much because we know Inoue's been knocked down recently. So I think he's a little bit gun shy. But around round 4, he turned it up. And then round 7 and on, peak dominance. He targeted the body relentlessly. He caused visible swelling on his face. I'm pretty sure he got concussed in round 8. Alkamev, he stumbled back, visibly shaken up. I thought he was actually going to fall down.
Honestly, man.
And Inoue in round 7 landed 52% of his power shots. Just an amazing, amazing performance. And Alkamev brought it on in round 10, but on and just couldn't do it.
Honestly, man, when I watched this fight, all I saw was this very simply. I saw a man go in there against another man and just take shot after shot after shot after shot for 12 rounds, man.
Go down.
He was relentless, right? And it came to the point where he was just standing there eating them. So respect to MJ, man, because he took a lot of fucking shots. Like he had a ton of shots, right? I don't have a problem with the decision here. 117, 111, 118, 110, 118, 110. Wide, clear, no argument. Call it what it was. It was just another routine night for the monster who's making killers look like sparring partners, honestly. I mean, that's really what it was here. And I think, the other thing is the respect that MJ has for Inoue. Like at the final presser, he gifted the whole team with gift bags and traditional robes and, just a different level that what you normally see in North American side or even in to a certain extent.
Well, because over there, they're a lot more classy.
Yeah.
A lot more respect. So over here, we're all about
the fact that Inoue couldn't knock him out after beating him relentlessly. Like, I'm surprised the referee didn't even stop it at some point here. Like there were some shots here where he was just like, you could have stopped
around 8, I think he got concussed. He staggered around. I thought he was going to fall.
They could have stopped this in the third round. just the amount of shots that he was eating because he really wasn't defending himself. Like he
No,
was
but there'd be some
pawing.
rounds where he'd come alive, fire back a bit. So I mean,
Once or twice, but for the most part, he just kept pawing at him, pawing at him. You know what I mean? He wasn't really doing anything. It's like, step up, move aside, do something. He's just like walking into everything. Like he just sat there
yeah, well,
like
he
a
had no
punching
answer.
bag.
He had no answer. He has a game plan, but the speed and power of New is just so much.
Yeah,
It's hard to believe that a guy so small, 122 pounds. Most women weigh more than that,
yeah.
right? And he hits so hard for such a little guy.
Dude,
He's fun.
it's kind of tough now. Like it'll probably never happen, but the fight to make is a Inoue Crawford. I mean,
No, he's too small.
no, I get that, but I'm just saying if you're looking at it, I mean, if it is at all possible, I mean, I think the best fight for them now there is no excuse. Now we need to see Nakatani Inoue. That has to happen,
I think so.
right? There's nobody else left, in my opinion. Everyone else you throw at Inoue, he's just going to eat. Like I almost feel that he probably slowed down, thinking, "Hey, I need some rounds." So
I think he was. I think he was a little bit weird because he's been knocked down the last couple of fights. He didn't want that to happen again. So
yeah,
he's showing a lot of respect for Alcometa's power.
yeah.
Maybe too much. In saying that he's still nominated the guy, but I think that could be because the first couple rounds he was kind of gun shy. But before he comes out like a bat out of hell. I mean,
Yeah. I guess he was testing the waters, and plus he knew to step up in the conversation. Like MJ, he's not something to poo at, right? Like
and nobody knows you get knocked down a couple times. One time you're not going to get back up, so he's
exactly.
a little more cautious.
And those guys were lesser than MJ here. Makaleov, he's a straight killer.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
right. So so it was what it was. But I mean, a great challenge, but he made it look really, really easy. So we have two of the best pound for pound guys going up against straight killers, hypothetically, and made them both look pedestrian.
Absolutely.
Pedestrian.
What three best fighters in the world. Usyk #1, Inoue and Crawford. You can go 2 and 3. It's not Crawford. I'll tell you guys why. Because Usyk, the way he finishes opponents, he knocked out Dubois. He beat Fury twice. He beat Joshua twice. And he fights a couple times a year. Crawford hasn't fought in a year and a half. So that's why Usyk is #1 fighter in the world.
No,
and he's doing it at heavyweight where one shot turned your whole lights out.
Yeah, and he's a smaller man in the heavyweight division.
He's a cruiserweight beating up giants.
He's literally David in that division.
Yeah, he's slaying Goliath.
Against a bunch of Goliaths, right? So, all right, man. I tell you what, we have boxing this weekend, but it's predominantly coming out of Australia. I guess we have the Fandora fight, Gabriela Fandora fighting this weekend as well on the PBC card. I think that's the Keith Thurman card, right?
What do you mean? Keith Thurman's not fighting this weekend?
Oh, sorry. So, sorry. So, Gabriela Fandora, she's fighting this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We got Liam Paro fighting this weekend out of Australia.
There's a couple of fights, but nothing of notoriety, nothing worth breaking down on the show, because at the end of the day, this show is about knowledge and a little bit of entertainment. And we're going to talk about guys most people don't know them.
Yeah. But just to let the people know if they're looking for
there's some good fights if you really want to
some good fights out there. But I mean, the Australia card, I think you're going to have to wake up at 2, 3 in the morning to catch that one, 4 o'clock in the morning to catch that one on a Thursday, Friday morning. I don't know if anyone wants to do that, but it's there. And then over the weekend, DAZN will give you your fill of all regional, local, and
the nice thing about boxing on DAZN and Prime and Amazon, you don't have to watch it live.
Just go back
later, and you can sort through the crap, cut out the national anthems and all the BS. That's the nice thing about streaming.
Exactly. All right, man. I think that's it. We've covered everything. Congratulations to Terence Crawford. 3 divisions disputed and Inoue. I mean, between the two of them, I think they own all the gold in boxing at their levels, right? I would love to see their wall of belts. Just insane. Before we go, wonderful gesture by Crawford giving back Canelo his belts. And I only want to bring that up because I think he put it the best way. He was on Stephen A. Smith yesterday, and Stephen A. stirring the pot. You beat the man. You took his belts. Why'd you give him back? He goes,
Great question.
Right. He goes, well, but that's a tradition in boxing between the honorable boxers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are his belts, which they are. They belong to Canelo. He goes, I took his title, but those are his belts. I'll get my belts.
And you know what? I listen to that because I listen to Sirius XM every day. So that show is on right before my favorite show. I just listen to every day. I'll be listening to that in 45 minutes. Stephen, he asked the tough question. Everybody want to know, why'd you do that? And even if Stephen knows the answer, he's asking what most boxing people won't ask.
Well,
and I'm glad he asked
the
that.
casual fans, most boxing people in the know that's what happened.
Yeah, but when people hear the radio, you want to listen. Why'd you do that? Like, instead of just glazing him over, saying you're amazing, like he does that. You also need to ask some good questions too. And that was a good interview.
Yeah, no, that was good.
I listened to it was a 17-minute.
I liked how Crawford answered it. I took the man's title, but those are his belts.
Yeah,
those are personalized to him.
Yes,
I'll get my belts, right? The only belt he didn't give him was the ring one because that was the new title.
Mm-hmm. No, it was a great question and a great answer. So, Steven Smith's a good interviewer. He knows what to say.
Yeah. All right. I'm Bobby Sampson.
Hold on. We got a tribute here we got to bring up. I wrote this.
Oh, Ricky Hatton.
Yeah. So I'm going to break it. I'm not going to give you his whole career because this is going to be too long-winded. I'm going to put it down on X. Well, let's start in 2000 with his prime years, okay? So give you a quick little, we don't know how he died. Nobody said it yet. I don't know how he passed away.
Well, here, before you start, let me just say this. So Ricky Hatton died on Sunday or Saturday morning. I'm not sure. I believe it was Sunday morning, right? Yeah.
It was Sunday. Because they would have done a tribute for it by Saturday.
I can tell you this, that the man was dealing with some physical issues. He was only 46, but he did have physical issues. And I'm so on the understanding that he was dealing with some mental health issues.
That's kind of what I gathered too.
Everything for him changed after the Mayweather fight. Mentally.
Mm.
But the one thing that I've read about him and the testimonies that I've read of other people, regardless of how he was feeling mentally, physically, he was always that guy to help everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So go for it.
He struggled he would get, so he got overweight when he was fat, and then he'd slim down for that exhibition fight he had, and then he got put on that weight again. So he struggled. But anyways, let's break it down. This is his prime years, okay? 2003 to 2007. Okay, this is Hatton's peak, which saw him dominate light welterweight, briefly conquering welterweight also, and became a pound-for-pound contender. His style, likened to a pit bull with that jab, overwhelmed opponents with volume. He had a career percentage 41% knockout rate per CompuBox. Body shots landed 38%. Okay, so I'm going to say a couple of his key fights that stood out. 2003 against Amon McGee, unanimous decision, 12 rounds. He survived an early knockdown. Ricky Hatton did, and to outwork his opponent with it, who was a slick southpaw, proving his resilience and winning an obscure title, the WBU. You don't hear that one very much. No. 2005, his most famous fight, he knocked down Tim Tszew's dad in round 11.
He put him on the stool. He quit on the bench.
Yeah. So this is Hatton's signature win. Facing the lineal IBF and Ring Magazine champion at the time in Manchester, he pressured Tszyu into submission, like you just said, landing 143 body shots. Tszyu quit on his stool, as you said, before round 12, making Hatton the undisputed at 140 pounds, 40-0. The fight drew 20,000 fans and remains a British boxing landmark. Let's fast forward the clock a little bit here. I'm not going to bore everybody with anything. He beat one of my favorite fighters, Jose Luis Castilla, knocked him out in round 4. That's what he did. And then his 2007, he fought Floyd. He got TKO'd in the 10th round, but he was undefeated. Floyd is undefeated. Great fight. Floyd was just a better boxer. And then he beat Paulie Malignaggi, TKO Paulie Malignaggi, rebounded after the Mayweather fight, came back, TKO Paulie Malignaggi, who I can't stand. And then the most famous fight he's ever been in. I watched it live, 2008, Manny Pacquiao KOs him. Round 2, one of the most vicious knockouts in the world that you've ever seen. He went to sleep. He got knocked out first, got back, he went out cold. And he came back. He had a couple comeback fights, but we won't get into all that. But here's his career achievements quickly here before we wrap it up. The lineal IBF Ring Magazine light heavyweight champion from 05 to 07. WBA light welterweight champion 05 to 06. WBA welterweight champion 2006. WBU light welterweight champion 2001 to 2005 with 15 title defenses. His record overall 45-3, 32 KOs. His notable wins: Tszyu, Castilla, Inago, and Masu. Most famous things. Great guy, great boxer. You lost to Floyd and Pacquiao. They're two of the best to ever do it, and he's definitely one of England's greatest fighters. It's got to be up there.
And you think about it, at the time that he was at the top of the game, there wasn't any social media, so he built. Can you imagine if he had social media back in those days? How big this guy would have been? he never got that international kind of fame. Like, it kind of made me sad that the boxing world outside of the UK was really talking about this, because his reach was far, man. The amount he helped people, dictated to you without even knowing who you truly were. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The two fights in the States, unfortunately, they didn't go the way he would have wanted them to, and that probably hindered his growth in North America. But anyone in Manchester, anyone in the UK, they know who Ricky Hatton is, even if they don't like boxing. That's
Yeah,
the kind of name he was, right?
made a lot of money. He had a good career. He made a ton of
Yeah,
money.
he had a
He's
great
rich.
career. Did most of his work for Frank Warren in Queensbury. So and his son's out there now as well.
Mhm.
Trying to apply his trade. But rest in peace, Ricky Hatton. Gone too soon, my friend.
Yeah,
Anyone who passes away that's younger than me is gone too soon.
he's older than me, but yeah, he's too bad. He's a great fighter, great
Yeah,
champion, and you
yeah.
know what? You lost to Mayweather and Pacquiao. There's no shame in that. Most guys do.
No, everyone did. Really, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
no
So
one, right? So, I mean, for the most part, everyone did.
good
But
for him from coming from England to come over here
hey,
and challenge Floyd and Manny. Right? It's a big
he
fight.
tried. He tried.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to do things that other people didn't. But yeah, that Costas Zoo. I think Costas retired after that.
Uh,
Actually,